2022 was a fairly divisive year for Fate Grand Order. We had some very powerful and fan-favorite servants release, which was exciting for many, but at the same time we had some very lackluster events and boring periods of time in the game. Today I want to discuss some of the things I would like to see added or changed in 2023. In the first part of this video, I will be talking about game mechanics such as the servant coin system and other things like event reruns. And then at the end of the video, I'll do a little servant prediction for 2023 as well. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments after the video, and I hope you enjoy. The first thing I would love to see improvements on this year is to the servant coin system. Introduced during the 2021 anniversary, the coins allowed us to grail our favorite servants up to level 120 and unlock new passives. When first released, I and many other players were taken aback at how expensive and hard to obtain the coins were. Grailing to 120 costs 300 of these coins, and each passive skill costs 120 to unlock. So in total, you need 660 coins to max out one character. For limited 5 stars, you get 90 coins per copy of the servant, and every servant gives you a few coins as their bond level increases. So to get a servant to level 120 and unlock all 3 passives, you need NP6 and bond level 12 at least. This is very unrealistic for most players, and I believe needs to be fixed. I would love to see an implementation of a universal servant coin that you could use on any servant. They could make these obtainable in events throughout the year, or introduce a system that lets us trade in coins for characters we don't want to use for coins of characters we do. This would also be useful for welfare characters that were released before the coin system was introduced, since there is no way to obtain those characters' coins. Depending on how many of these universal coins are obtainable, it could help players kit their favorite servants out, where right now it would be unrealistic. The next thing I want to see this year is the return of 2-week events, or the improvement of rewards if we keep 3-week events. In 2022, we started to get new events which lasted 3 weeks. The problem with these events was that the actual story content only usually lasts 1 to 1.5 weeks, and the rest of the time was spent just farming. It also felt like we were not getting more rewards, but rather we had to farm longer for the rewards we would have gotten in 2-week events. While we are talking about events, I really feel like the devs need to bring back event reruns. Event reruns are very important not only to new players that may have missed useful welfare servants, but also veteran players who can obtain rare prisms from the events they have already completed. Event reruns also help fill in dead weeks with content. There seems to be a correlation between losing event reruns and gaining 3-week events, and I for one would rather have the event reruns. Bond craft essences have been in need of changes for a very long time. The biggest problem with Bond CEs is the fact that most effects are not as good as normal craft essence effects, and the few Bond CEs that do have powerful or useful effects are held down by extremely low bonus stats. I feel like this is one of the hardest problems to solve in the game. One of the solutions I've thought of is making the Bond CEs basically just a passive the servant unlocks at Bond 10. This would make some characters extremely powerful, and I think would bring the power level of the game up a lot. A more basic solution would be to give the CEs higher stats. The only problem with this solution would be the fact that some older servants' Bond CEs just have really bad effects. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about Bond craft essences and any potential solution to this problem in the comments. Last game-related thing I would like to discuss is the lack of animation updates recently. There are many characters in the game now that have not been updated that just frankly look terrible. Last year we only had 2 updates, with one of them being Summer BB, which was a minor change to her NP on other Ascensions. In this final part of the video, I want to talk about some of the servants that I predict/want to come out next year. There will be Lost Belt 7 spoilers, so please, if you don't want to be spoiled, watch out! First is you, Olga Mary. This is the pick I am least confident in simply because I'm not sure how she would be summonable now, unless her story wraps up at the end of Lost Belt 7, which I kind of doubt. She seems very integral to the overall story of Part 2, and I believe there will be more after Lost Belt 7. She does, however, have a full usable sprite and animations and skills, so they could do something similar to Koyanskaya, where there are 2 versions of her that get released over time. If she does come out, I would guess it would be around the end of Lost Belt 7, so I'll guess end of January. The second character I predict, and the one I want the absolute most, is Ciel from Tsukihime. Since releasing Arcwood, I think we will start seeing some more Tsukihime characters. She is also a popular character as she placed third on a poll asking what other Type Moon characters players would like to see as servants. I think that she could be the Valentine's character this year, as they seem to have recently been doing older characters in that slot. I could also see her as the anniversary character this year. I don't think she would be a pseudo-servant, but I'm not an expert in the lore, so you guys can let me know what you think about that. My third prediction is Summer Morgan. This seems like a home run for Lysangle. Morgan is one of the most popular characters in FGO recently, and it feels like the right time for a summer version. I don't know what other summer units would be with her, but if they did a banner with her and Summer Barghest, it would probably be the best-selling banner of all time. I'm not really predicting classes with these choices, but I think she would probably be a ruler. My final prediction is Tiamat. With the release of Proto Merlin, it seems the arcade characters are finally being let out of their cages. Tiamat is another popular character that has been asked for a while now, and with her release in arcade at the end of 2021, hopes seemed lost, but now I think she will be released very soon. My guess is that she could be the anniversary character, or the third summer character in the slot Lady Avalon was in this year. Alright then, what do you guys think? If you have any other predictions or opinions, please leave them in the comments. This was just a fun little thing I thought of, so I appreciate you for watching this video. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day.